Hey everybody, my name is Brian Lovelace. I am the founder of NaviUpgrade.com. Today I'm in a 2012 Ford Focus SE. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be taking the 4-inch base sync system out of this vehicle and putting in the nice big Ford Sync 3 display so that this owner has CarPlay, Android Auto, and great navigation built into her car. As you can tell, this is the 4-inch sync system that I was talking about. We're going to be taking this entire unit out, putting in a plug-and-play harness from NaviUpgrade.com, and we're going to be converting the entire unit to have Sync 3. Let's get right on into it. All right, so the first thing that we're going to want to do is we're going to want to pull down right here. And if you feel around, you'll actually feel that there's a little cover. And what this little cover does is it protects 2 screws that are underneath. Then we're going to grab our T25 Torx bit. I'm going to put the car in a lower gear here so I can get this in. And we're just going to come in here, find where the T25 screw is, and we're just going to start unscrewing. And there's another one on this side right here. Oopsies. If you have a magnet tray, I highly suggest that you put things in your magnet tray. All right, second screw's out. And then all you have to do is lift up here. And this is only for the 2012 and through 2014s that you can do it this easily. It's a little bit more difficult on the other ones. And then on the behind, there is a clip. So I'm taking my finger in this motion and the clip is on this side. Unclip this, your entire module comes out like that, and you can set it aside. All right, so this is your ACM. It's your audio control module. This is going to be staying with your setup when you do your upgrade. So what we're going to do is we're going to come in here. We're going to take this screw off. And we're going to take this screw off. And we're going to pull out. It might be a little bit hard at first because it's in these little grooves down here, but it'll come right out. As you can see, there's 3 connectors on the back here. So what we're going to do, connector 1, pops right off. Connector 2 pops right off, but this one's a little bit more difficult. All you have to do is squeeze it, pinch right on that little nub right there, and it'll all come off. Set this aside because we're going to use it on the reinstallation. These can just sit all back here like that, no problem. But what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to take out this terrible old display module. Ford calls this module an FCDIM, Front Controls Interface Display Module. There's 4 screws on here. Put them in your magnet tray. And we're gonna pop this out. And we're gonna pop this out. And then there is another connector on the bottom of this. So what we're gonna do, we're gonna pull out. And then I don't know if you can see, oh, hey, I can turn it around on this car. Sometimes they're not long enough. There is a swing latch here. So what I mean by a swing latch is you have to push down here and this part swings down. And as it swings down, it'll push the connector out of there, just like that. You can set this aside, you can sell it, you can keep it for if you ever sell the car and want to go back to stock. And now we're left with all this stuff hanging here. So what we're gonna do is, I've never taken apart one of these before, but I think it's fairly simple. We're going to be taking this part off around the shifter. So if you have an automatic car, please make sure you look up instructions on how to remove the shift knob from your automatic vehicle. So here we go. Let's go right on into here. And we're gonna take this T25 screw out, set it in our magnet tray, this T25 screw out, and we're gonna set it in our magnet tray. And now, let's just see how this all mounts up. Usually a lot of pieces in these cars are all stitched together with little clips. So I'm gonna come here and I'm going to just pry this off just a little bit because that's obviously in the way. And I'm going to remove my shift boot here. All right, so here, we're going to come here. There should be little clips holding it up. Pry around. There we go. Shifter's off. Set it aside in a safe place. Now what we're going to do is we're going to work on getting this piece fully out. So give it a little bit of a wiggle. And then we might need to take this piece fully off here to get it out safely. And I don't know if you can see, but there's a little ledge back here on this side. A lot of times, if this is your first time taking apart your car, it's a lot more difficult than the second time. All right, so as I'm going through this footage, I'm realizing, you know, I could teach you guys a way better way to do this. It was just my first time taking apart a pre-2015 car, and I didn't really know exactly what I was doing for this part. So here's what I'm going to say from learning experience. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to go into your driver's side footwell, and you're going to want to take the entire side panel off of the center console there. There's going to be one of those Christmas tree connectors like this, and what you're going to want to do then is you're going to want to take off the little coin tray thing, trim that goes along the side of your shift boot. And from there, what you're going to want to do is you're going to want to take off the actual trim piece that the shift boot connects to. Those are 7/32 sockets. So you just get a 7/32 socket, 7/32 socket. Say that 6 times fast, 3 times fast. And you're going to want to remove the 3 screws and then take that piece out. That's going to make reinstalling your AC panel a lot easier later down the road. Okay, let's get right back on into it. Let's go. And then we see that there is another T25 screw right here. So we're going to be removing this. Okay, so that's out. Place it in our magnet tray. This entire piece will pop out. And then should be able to see on this camera, we've got some connectors here that need to come out. Never dealt with these connectors before, so we are going to learn. Oh, nope, there's a clip on the bottom, so these are easy. Clip on the bottom, pull out. Clip on the bottom, pull out. Clip on the top, pull out. Then, yep, set this aside for safekeeping. And here we are, finally, we are at our module. So this is our sync module right here, and we do not really need this anymore. So what we're gonna do is there's a swing harness. So let me show you what I mean by a swing harness. That's a locked position, that's what it's like right now. So you push down here, swing and unlock it. So what we're gonna do is down here, inside the car, so there's a swing harness here. So we're just gonna push, swing it down, and unplug it. So now you have that resting right here, right there. All right, so we're going to take this end of the harness, and we're going to plug it in here. Plug it in, and that swing harness is going to swing down and latch in, just like that. I don't know if you can see that. All we're gonna do now is we're gonna tuck this down here, and we're gonna bring this all up here, just like this. There's a little space, and you bring all these wires, except for that guy right there. This is for your hub. And you bring this guy up. All right, and then there's just one more. Where the heck is it? It's down here. All right, there we go, just like that. So the next thing we're gonna do is this is our mount for our new sync system. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take this, we're going to pull this up here, through here like this, and we're gonna pull this part up through here. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this part and we're going to plug this 12-pin connector into where our old screen was. So that plugs in just like that. And then watch carefully, because what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and there's a guide. There's these channels in here, right here. And we're just going to take this module, or this mount, and we're going to set it in there just like so. And there we go. We're set. Now we're going to take our couple of our T25 screws, and if I can find my T25 screwdriver again, which I can't, and it's right here. So what we're going to do is we're going to take this, and there's a few places that this mounts up. So there's a hole here, and this screws in just like that. We're going to be mounting up this module, and then there's another one right here. Perfect. That's pretty sturdy, but if you want, you can take 2 more of your screws and you can put them right here. Sometimes you don't have enough screws for everything, so you might need to go to Ford and get more screws. 2 more down. All right, there's those 2. And you know, now that we have signal, we're going to test this entire unit out. All right, here's our brand new touch panel, and let's just do a quick little test on it. So let's plug in, and then this is your 54-pin APIM connector. Plug it in just like that. Oopsies. Looks like we had a bit of an issue. 1 second. This little guy just popped off. Sometimes that happens. You should just be able to pop it right back on. Yeah, all right. It goes like that. And you want to push it until it locks into place. Now, if we start our car, sync 3 should turn on. All right, so it's really dim right now, but that's because it needs programming. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna put this back on here. But the screen is on, and right now the issue is that we need different brackets. So what we're gonna do, so we're gonna come here, we're gonna unplug, and we're gonna put new brackets on. So the brackets are right here. All you have to do is screwdriver, get them started. Screwdriver, get it started. And then this is always down. So if you get a monitor without a protector, this little piece right here points down. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're going to align it up. We're gonna get our screws. By the way, these screws are a T8. So if you're wondering what size screwdriver to use, it's gonna be a T8. All right, so the next thing that we have to do is we have to prep our Fascia GPS module, which you can get on Amazon, and the 6-foot mini USB to mini USB male connector. So what we're gonna do is we're going to take some tape right here, and we're going to put a little bit of tape on this antenna right here, just like that. All right, so we have our tape, and we're just gonna put a cut in it right there, just like that. And we're gonna rip this. Usually these antennas come with pads, but this one didn't. So we're just gonna take it and we're gonna unpeel it just like that. And what I like to do is I like to find a spot, you know, back here somewhere. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna take it face up just like that. And we're gonna find this nice soft space back here. As you can tell, it's about right here on this one, right here. And we're just gonna stick it up there nice and good. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our USB mini USB, just feed it up from down here, because this is gonna be powering our USB in a little bit. So we come up just like that, and we can leave this just like this. And now we're ready to install our screen. I'm just gonna zip tie all this extra stuff off because we don't need it. Great, we'll tuck this back here. And we will grab our screen. And on this module, this plugs in like that. Then we take our USB, and the wider part of this goes facing up. So we go like that. And now what we do is we grab this, our 54-pin APIM connector, and then this swing latch is going to be pointed towards the passenger side, and we plug it in, just like that, push down till that swing latch comes all the way back, and we can rest our screen in place, just here, just like that. Might take a little bit of finagling to get it in, but that's part of the install, just like that. Now, what we're gonna do is we're gonna take our T25 torque screwdriver again, and we're gonna prep everything here. All right, now we're gonna start screwing in the display. All right, now we can take our ACM, and we would be setting it in just like that. But on the Sync 3 system, what we need to do is we need to take our adapter and we need to adapt this to our hazard switch. So now I'm going to grab this connector and I'm going to plug it in right here, just like that. And we're gonna push this back, take it out of its resting spot right there. And you're gonna take the one that comes with my new harness, the NaviUpgrade harness, and you're just gonna put it right in there where the old one was. Now for this, we're ready to install our ACM now. Put it like that, and then we're gonna bring out these connectors for the ACM. We're gonna install our antenna here. We're going to install the APIM in and the power connectors just like that. And now what we do, we can just push this back here just like that. And there we go. We're ready to install our faceplate after we screw this in. So for this part, I'm going to use some other screws that I have, just so we have everything filled out here. Now I'm going to take some spare screws I have, which are actually a 7mm nut. So what I'm gonna do is gonna install them with my nut driver here, and they go in nice and easy. Now the next part is getting all of this stuff routed. So our USB and USB power, we have to get this routed to our hub back here in the center console. So what we're gonna do is we're first gonna just start here. I'm gonna make my life a little bit easier, and I'm gonna zip tie these. I'm gonna zip tie them right at the end here. All right, so I just remembered an old hack that I used to use. And what it involves is it involves coming down here and then sticking these two USB port connections down through the side of the panel. All right, so as you can see, we have these two wires sticking down through the panel. And all I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start pulling this to the back. pulling this to the back, just like that. And then what we're gonna do at the end is we're gonna just tuck it in. So I'm gonna come back here. Sorry, I've got all my camera equipment back here, so this might be a little bit difficult. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna move the seat forward all the way. I'll come back over here. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come up here, just like this, and I'm going to stick it up right here. And hopefully, I'm going to be able to see this stuff floating around in there. So now I'm gonna come back here. Now here's the fun part. We have to get this out so we can put in our new hub and route the wires the rest of the way. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to take a small pry tool right here, and I'm going to try to pry up on the sides here and see if I can get in there enough to pull this up. Yep, I can. So that's up, just like that. And now I can undo these. So there's the plug for the line out. Unplug that. This one's gonna be a little bit trickier. All right, so to get this piece out, your old USB, you kind of have to lift up here, and then you have to kind of lift up over on the other side, and you have to kind of wiggle it out. It's a pain in the butt. So what I'm going to try and do is I'm going to try and put pressure on it, pulling. I'm just going to bend these out of the way. And then it just pops out just like that. We can bend these two pieces back for when we are ready to go back to stock if we ever decide to sell the car. Set it aside, and hopefully if I stick my hand down here, I'll be able to feel all right. I was able to stick it up through here and then kind of pull it up through, just like that. We're just gonna tuck it all up in here. Make it nice and clean, no wires hanging anywhere. The other way you can do this is kind of just pulling this. Make it nice and tight, and then that'll make it so that all you have to do is kind of just use your fingers and put it up in to the slot there. There we go, nice and clean. You'd never know. All right, so the next thing I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get my hub ready. So as you can see, there's a 45-degree angle right there, and there's a 45-degree angle right there. So all you have to do, pop this in just like that, and it locks in place. Next, come over here, grab the connections we just pulled, and we're going to, so we're gonna plug that one, this plug in here, and the USB in here. And we're not gonna rest it in there right now because we're going to test it first. So don't rest it in, just leave it be for a few minutes while we get to doing the rest of the car. So here, we're going to take this guy, and we're gonna take this guy right here, and we're gonna put all this stuff back now. All right, everyone, so I just learned a lesson. This needs to come off to be able to put this back on. There's 3 bolts right here, three little screws that are 7/32, so unlike the rest of the car, these are SAE, while the rest of the car is metric, which makes no sense, but that is Ford for you. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna actually get this thing back in place now, and we're gonna screw it all together. So now I'm very glad that is all done and dealt with, so we can get this project finished. All right, so I'm going to use 3T 25 screws, and I'm going to get everything screwed back together here. All right, now that that's back all together, what I'm gonna do is I'm going to put this piece right, oopsies, excuse me. I'm going to put this piece, which has a little coin purse in it, right there. And I'm gonna snap this all back into place here. Right here, just like that. Make sure this part gets down in there and locks into place. And that this all tucks in nice and tight here. Okay. All right, so once that's in, we're going to take this piece right here, which I took off from this side, and I'm going to just get it all right back snug and in place where it's supposed to be. Oopsies. Get this all snug back in its place where it's supposed to be. And that requires a little bit of finagling. All right, this all pops back in place right here, just like that. And then there is a Christmas tree clip, and that just pushes in right here, down here by your gas pedal. All right, now that that's all in, we can come back here and we wrestle this guy into place, and this comes in here just like that. And come on. And it should come in here and rest. Oops. Rest in there just like that. And then the three these just all go back in here. 7:30 seconds. There's three of them. And we're on to the last one right here. Shift boot is ready to go back on here. And what we're gonna do is, because there's no reverse lockout on this, like on the STs, just gonna stick it down like that. And then we're just gonna get it nice and tight on the stock again. All right, this should be the last, maybe one more. Maybe we'll get one more. There we go, sweet. All right, this should all clip into place. And there we go. We can probably get one more twist in there, just like that. And we're good to go. Now, we're gonna make sure we're still recording here. Now we're going to take our faceplate right here, and from where we bought it from, there was a little attachment here, so we'll just cut that off. All right. And now all we do is we take this piece right here, connect it in right like that, come down here, connect the bottom one, try and tuck it back a little bit, And then the rest should slip into place just like that. And just like that, we have Sync 3 in a stock 2012 SE that came with the base 4-inch screen. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back here, I'm gonna put it in a low gear, like 4th gear. I'm just gonna screw this in place. Great. And there's another one right here. And now we're ready to program. So again, we're gonna be using a OBD2 dual CANBUS adapter. These are very cheap on Amazon. They're about $18.97 usually. And so there's 2 things to know about this. You have to get one of these because it has a high speed and a medium speed CAN bus switch. On this particular adapter, when the switch is pointed towards the wire, that's high speed CAN bus. When it's pointed away from the wire, that means it's medium speed CAN bus. So let's get right on into programming this unit. All right, so as you can see here, my OBD dongle is plugged in to my laptop, and now I'm just gonna come down here and plug it into the car. Like I said before, the switch, when it's pointed towards the wire on this particular dongle, that means that it's on high-speed CAN bus. So I'm gonna close the door. I'm going to turn the car on to accessory mode. It's gonna ding at me a couple times. And then I'm gonna come in here to my laptop, that's my wife and I, and we're gonna open FORScan. Here we go. First thing it's gonna ask us is if this is a 2012 or 2013. This is a 2012. So we're gonna say yep. And now what it's gonna do is it's going to load up all the modules. So it's gonna look for the power control module, the body control module, it's gonna find the APIM, it's gonna find all the modules that this car has. Now here you're gonna see something that says, please set HS-MS CAN switch to MS CAN bus position and click OK. So we're just gonna come down here, we're gonna switch this the opposite way to medium speed CAN bus, come back here, click OK. It's very important to do so that it reads all of the medium speed CAN bus modules as well. Let it read it all up. And we're just gonna call this Elise's, oops, I'm on caps lock. Elise's 2012 Focus SE. I'm just gonna click yes, save that profile. So that just means that the next time it tries to connect to this vehicle, it's gonna connect a lot faster. So now what I'm gonna do is, because I already know I'm gonna go and program my APIM, the APIM is high-speed CAN bus. So I'm gonna come down here, flip it to high-speed CAN bus, and we're gonna go here. This is the programming module inside of FORScan, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna go configuration, AsBuilt format, click play, set high-speed CAN bus, we just did that, and it's gonna say okay, it's gonna read all the blocks, and there we go, there's all of our blocks for this. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go here, and go to our downloads, where when you buy a harness from me, I give you the base sync to sync 3 upgrade files. So I'm gonna extract those, and as you can see, there's ACM files and APIM files. We want the APIM files. And now there's a few different versions here. So there's a version that has navigation, and then and that one has HD radio, and then I've got, so that's if you upgrade your ACM to have HD radio. And then I have a navigation version with just the standard ACM, so the one you have in your car, stock. And then there's the non-navigation one with HD radio and non-navigation with your regular ACM. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna just do non-nav, and we're gonna do the standard. So what we're gonna do, gonna go to load all. We are going to go back, and we're gonna go to downloads, and we're gonna go into APIM files, and this is a Sync 3 non-nav, and this has the standard ACM in it. So we're gonna click OK. It's gonna say error opening file, but that's because we've got extra blocks down here. It's totally okay. It totally loaded up all the right ones anyways, as much as it could. And we're just gonna say write all. It's gonna say module configuration AsBuilt format. This action completely rewrite the module configuration. Are you sure? Yep, we're sure. Let it do its thing. All right, so the blocks are programmed successfully. Click OK. And now, as you can see here, we're loading up with the ST screen now. But this isn't an ST, so I'm going to show you guys how to change that as well. All right, let's make sure everything's working here. All right, sweet.
That's Reinstalling.com.
Great, 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 great.
And call us right. We're all living in the ripple effects of history.
That's great. So what you're going to find out now is that if you were to use it like this, you would not have any voice features. So what I'm going to do is, let's do this. Sorry, it's different on this car. What is it? Is it this one? Oh, no, it's here, right here. See, we can't hear her talking. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna go and we're gonna load up some ACM files. So I'm gonna go stop on the monitor here. I'm gonna go to configuration and programming, and then I'm gonna go to, actually, no, let's do something else first. Let's do APIM module configuration. We'll set that, okay. And what we're going to do is we're gonna give it some navigation repeater conformance. We're gonna go current. And then we're going to make the splash screen a regular default splash screen. And then the other thing is that this car doesn't have a rear view camera. So I'm going to turn off the rear view camera. So when she goes into reverse, right now if she were to go into reverse, screen turns blue. So we're gonna turn that off because she doesn't have a reverse camera. So we're gonna come here. Rear vehicle camera disabled. Okay, and I think that's it. So we're gonna write it. Yep. And now if we come up here, once it's done, this should have the stock Ford display here. Yep, so now we're back to stock Ford and no ST, which is good. Now it's gonna match. Perfect. Now what we're gonna do is we're gonna come down here and we're going to turn off. We're gonna press stop here, and we're gonna go to medium speed CANBUS. So medium speed CANBUS, come back to our screen here, configuration and programming tab, and then we're gonna go to ACM, and it's gonna go module configuration here. All right, we've just set them MS CANBUS, switch to MS CANBUS. And now what we're gonna do is we're gonna go load all. We're gonna go back to our downloads where you download the file from my site, base sync, and then we're going to ACM AsBuilt files. And we're just doing the stock ACM, so we're just going to click there, stock, write all, yes. It's going to write it, all right, and then that module is going to restart itself. And now we should be able to hear sync when it comes back. I'm actually going to turn the car off and then turn it back on again. Don't ask me why it did that, but okay. All right, we're turning the car off. There we go. Oh, you know, I think I accidentally hit the panic switch. What a terrible place for a panic switch on here. All right, so ACM's back on, and that's terrible. Let's go to FM. So we're gonna peel that off. And now we should be able to hear the voices. Phone.
I didn't get that.
See, now we
Please
can hear
try
voices.
again.
All right, that's all you need to do to upgrade your Ford Focus.
You can say
Oh.
AM, FM, or you.
All right, guys, thanks so much for tuning in. I really hope this video helped you with your project on upgrading your base Ford Focus to have Sync 3. I have a lot of parts available on my website, Conversion Harnesses. All of my conversion harnesses come with programming files like you saw in the video, so you're easily able to upgrade your unit and program it without any issues. If you have any questions, feel free to drop a comment below or drop a comment on my actual website, NaviUpgrade.com, and I look forward to servicing you and helping you with your projects in the future. See you next time. steering wheel controls. What's the temperature outside?
The current temperature is 73 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh yeah, it's perfect. So good. Just taking the car back to the customer right now. We'll see what she has to say about it. About to get on the 405.